So welcome to today's MTD Daily News. Today we're going to be joined by Alec Warner from Star GB. We're going to be talking about several aspects of the company, turnkey operations. We're going to be talking about the trends in manufacturing, and we're going to be quizzing Alec on what he believes is the future for the company. But before we do that, we're going to cut to an interesting interview that Lindsay did with Alec recently at the headquarters in Derby.
Alec, why have you made sure that we're in Star GB's workshop here in Derby for this video?
Well, this showcases where the solutions come to life, where the magic happens with our machines.
Okay, so talk me through what these machines are doing.
Well, this one's been put down today. We've got a 10-part turnkey for a London customer on that one. This is a Mac machine, so we're going to do 3 individual parts on this machine in preparation for Mac. This is a turnkey for an Irish customer. Again, that's a 16-part turnkey that we've got to do on that machine.
So what do you mean by a 16-part turnkey?
Well, when we do turnkeys, it's basically we take full responsibility for the programming, for the tooling, for the process, everything up until final sign-off by the customer. So he has to accept the process that we've put in place.
So you're not selling basic machines?
No, we're not selling capacity, we're selling solutions, and that's what, by providing the equipment that we provide, the bar feeders, the star machines, the JBS units, etc., that's all part of the detailed solution, which is the sliding head machine.
So an interesting insight there into turnkeys. Alec, welcome to the show today. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you, Paul.
Now, you're obviously working at home at the moment. We'll touch on current things that are happening around the globe in a little while. But as we watch that video there about turnkeys, it's obviously becoming very evident that turnkeys is a massive part of what Star are offering the market now.
For sure, we're a solutions provider. So turnkey business for us is, it's always been a big thing at Star. We've always got 1 or 2 turnkeys running in the factory at any given time anyway, so it is a big part of our business.
And when you look, Mac's obviously not happening now this year, Alec. What were you going to be actually showing at the event in April, and that you're probably now going to obviously postpone to January next year? What would have been exciting for engineers to see?
Well, we would have had the brand new SX38, which is obviously 38mm up to 42mm brand new model on the booth. We had some new technology in terms of high pressure coolant, in terms of bar feeder equipment, etc. So there was quite a lot of new technology that we were going to show on our stand for sure.
And what was the aim? What was the actual in practice? What were you looking for people to come and find out about Star? The fact that the machines are becoming so very versatile and adaptable?
I think the real aim for us this year was to show the sort of different diversity of parts that we could do on our machines. So we had a lot of different components that were all going to go into a couple of neat assemblies that we were working on. But the diversity of parts, the variety of parts that we would have had on show would have been a good eye-opener to the engineering public to see what can be achieved on sliding head technology.
And of course, if you watch our channel, you'll be able to see many stories from Star customers, how they've managed to get the best out of the new technology that Star offer. But let's dig into that in a bit of detail, Alec. We're talking now about more complicated components, prismatic parts, harder materials. How far have these machines moved on? And engineers watching this, why should they be contacting you? What sort of parts may they be making that would lend themselves to your technology?
I think the general trend that I've seen over the last few years is for the sort of more complicated, higher value components coming across Star machines these days. So whereas before, a lot of companies were outsourcing to far afield, Far East, etc. Now they're trying to bring those higher value parts back, get a lot more control in terms of quality, etc. So that's where we've seen the sort of biggest trend in the applications that we're looking at. Nobody really gives us an easy turnkey these days. They're all real challenging parts, but it's amazing what our machines can do. And I think that's been the real general trend. It's the higher value, more profit in those parts. That's what we've seen over the last couple of years.
And I think a lot of it's down to the handling of these components as well. I mean, various applications that I've seen from some of your customers have had to go through various different machines to do different operations, but now they'll be brought onto a sliding head lathe and be complete in one hit. Now that carries many advantages, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You've got the work in progress line around the shop floor. You've got the actual quality of the part. We can finish majority of our components in one hit. So all of these things decrease the risk of making scrap parts, obviously increase the efficiency of the business, and in turn, obviously companies can make a lot more profit out of making parts on sliding head machines.
And going back some time ago, people would look at sliding head parts and they'd think very, very small diameter bar components in very, very high volumes. But just for our viewers that haven't seen some of the reviews we've done even with yourself, what sort of bar diameters can you go up to now on your machines? What size of components?
We do 42 millimeters in non-guide bush mode is the standard, but we've done 42 millimeters in guide bush mode as well on one or two special occasions. The parts themselves, you're looking at really, really tiny parts, quarter of a millimeter in width, up to parts that are over 2 meters long. It's a real sort of widespread, diverse sort of portfolio of parts that can be done on sliding head these days.
And I think that's why you've experienced such a growth in sales. Not just that, but obviously the support that the companies that your company offers. That's why you've seen such a growth there, because they are so much diversity to the machines. And even if industry goes through a bit of a tumultuous period, which we're experiencing at the moment, you'll still excel, won't you? Because your opportunities are getting further and wider.
Well, I think this channels like this, then obviously all the exhibitions that we do, etc., etc. More and more people are seeing, what sliding head machine tools can provide in terms of manufacturing capability. So, I think over the last 2 to 3 years, we've had more and more hits on the website looking at, what our technology can offer. Obviously, your video channel as well has been fantastic for us. More and more customers are looking at, what our machines can offer, really.
And trends, Alec, in UK manufacturing, what are you seeing in the last decade? I'm sure you've been in it that long, have you?
Just about. Well, obviously, the big thing these days is obviously Industry 4. It's automation. From our side, I think the big push now is really 3 or 4-fold. It's easy machine management. It's the Industry 4 side of it for sure. We've also got a lot of developments in terms of machine stability going on back at base. So there's lots of different
because that would probably be. I've got 2 more questions for you, so you're almost there. But the penultimate one was going to be that we've obviously seen a lot of shift towards your technology because of the versatility of it in recent years. What are Star thinking next? What's the next hurdle to get over? Is it to do with artificial intelligence, robotics, or is it just making the machines far more easier? Not that they're not easy, but easier to use than maybe people would think.
I think easy machine management has always been a key theme for us for the last few years, and there's lots of developments also with our sort of accessories suppliers as well, looking at sort of de-skilling the whole sort of process of running sliding head machines. So we're talking to FMB bar feeders, for example, about the actual CNC control, giving all the parameters to the bar feeder. We represent JBS guide bush systems, and we're talking about programmable guide bush systems being controlled again from the CNC program. So all of these little elements are there basically to de-skill the process, because there's a lot less setting involved. If the CNC program can take control of those features, you've really just got to start the machine up, pull up the program, press the go button, and then the guide bush is going to be set correctly. That the bar feed is going to be set correctly. So it's going to be a much more controlled, much more efficient process for the user, really.
Makes perfect sense. Alec, I did say that was my penultimate one, so this is my last one. We are in slightly difficult times at the moment, but I did notice from a post on social media yesterday on StarGB's account that you are still selling machines, one of which pertinently was into the medical industry. How are you keeping going in the current environment and servicing the sales side and the service side at such an important time?
It's really tough at the minute for obvious reasons, but the business is open. We've put all the different things in place that we needed to do to protect our staff and protect obviously the suppliers that have to come into our factory to fit the ancillary equipment. But for sure, it's tough times, but if everybody sticks to the rules, we will get through it and we'll come out the other side hopefully with a bigger and better economy as well. So fingers crossed.
Good stuff. I'm sure we will. Thank you very much for joining us today, Alec. So there you have it. Goes beyond the turnkey solution here, obviously with Star. They're looking to the future, how they can continually improve the efficiency of engineers and make them more productive in their plight to be the leader as they are in sliding head technology.